I don't want to get into, listening, having a pissing match here. Maybe what I want to find out is how many people are part of your organization?
977 people signed our petition here.
So everybody, 900 people are part of the...
It said, we the undersigned are event members of S.P.A.C.E.
So how many people are on your board or school board or local board?
On the board of Hawaii's Volcano Circus is 9.
Okay, so there's 9 board members, and then there's yourself.
Well, I'm the chairman of the board. There's the ex officio executive director is Jenna Way.
Okay, so you guys represent 900 members. Your testimony was very passionate, very emotional. You represent a lot of people, and I like to see, I like to hear that. One thing that I do want to talk about is leadership. Okay, your board, yourself, you represent 900 members. Okay, every organization is only as strong as their leaders. So what's happening here? What I see is for 12 years you're in violation. So for me, as my leader, I trust my leader to be passionate, to be emotional, and to follow the rules and the laws. So, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that, this is what I see right now. And that is what Ms. Self and our director is really looking at. So, we're going to hear a lot of testimony, a lot of emotional testimony, and it's going to make us all probably cry. Okay, but the bottom line is you and other 8 board members are the leaders for 900 people. So just remember that.
I think you were correct in terms of your initial assessment that we're not here today to try and change the laws, because I think the frustration that not only the planning director has articulated, but certainly from our side is, you have this unique different type of organization trying to fit itself within the current zoning laws, and it's a difficult fit. It's the square peg in the round hole, but that isn't what we're trying to consider here. What the planning director said, and what I appreciate about her willingness to go the extra mile, is that she is recommending that we be given more time to submit our special application. And my pitch to the Planning Commission is, hold us accountable, and we're going to walk it like we talk it. We have started this process in August of 2011. I think we've pushed it farther than Graham has been able to move it, to his credit. He's not well versed in the law or the regulations, and he's tried to move this as far as he could. Now he has our help and our guidance, and with the opportunity to sit down with the planning director and her staff to precisely define and meet those concerns that she has, we think we can meet the needs of the community and the school, and certainly alleviate the concerns that the commission members would have. So I would also echo the planning director's comments that we be given the opportunity to submit an amended special application, hold off on any revocation, and see what we come up with, hopefully, well, not hopefully, more definitely within 6 months.
When the special use permit came in, it was for Hiccup Circus and some workshops and stuff. It did not include a charter school. By letter to the organization, we have said that the charter school is consistent with the educational purposes of the special use permit. So that is not in jeopardy in any way if there is a continuance. The school is fine, the Hiccup Circus, their workshops and their classes. If it is the intent of the commission to defer this for 6 months, the department has no opposition to continuing the farmers market, and I think it was the once-a-week swap meet that we had allowed in our initial determination. And that's because that's consistent with what we've done with other areas of the island while people have been putting their special use permit together. I think the issue is if there are nighttime performances where there are tickets sold, that is where the real issue is. And I recognize that there are some people in the subdivision that would be unhappy with continuation because they feel like they're being impacted by noise and traffic. And it's a difficult balancing act to try and balance the needs of the greater community, the impact to the neighbors, as well as trying not to impact an existing organization which provides, I think, a very valuable service to the community. So I think we need to be real clear, because otherwise, if we aren't clear about what is or is not going to occur during any potential deferral period, I'm going to be getting more complaints, and it's going to be another issue of whether there's an ongoing violation of the existing permit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are the buildings that weren't supposed to be there, are they permitted now? You mentioned that they're required to have a professional survey, and there was additional buildings, and are those additional buildings permitted? You know, because looking at those pictures, a lot of those buildings don't even look like it would pass county right now. You know, and that's another example of strong leadership is, you know, I mean, you're representing 900 adults, students, 80 hiccup students, 36 students. You know, we want them to be safe, in a safe building. And those pictures do not look safe to me. You know, we have a lot of leaders here in this crowd. We have another school here. You know, that school is safe. You know, they just came in for a special permit. You know, and that facility is safe. But right there, that picture. You know, there's so many pictures over there that I don't know. Are those buildings safe?
That's the school.
Okay. Well, that's the school, but are those other buildings permitted?
Well, let's have the staff. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you,
Jeff.
Commissioner. I'll try to address your question. Originally, as we had mentioned, condition number 4 required the applicant to be able to bring the buildings that were existing up to current building code.
So who resides in these dwellings? Is it staff? I mean, are there kids that live in these dwellings, or the buildings there? Or do you rent it out? Are you making rent off these guys?
Many of the residents of Bellyacres are here today. They are the faculty, the staff, and the students at S.P.A.C.E. They are the people who are the primary volunteers that put in their time, their energy to make...
With all due respect,
everything
for the sake of the question, would we answer the question specifically of who lives in the dwellings?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so around the area, that's the neighbors. The neighbors are around. I was under the assumption that there were some people on the property that live there, but I guess the people submitting the complaints are on the outside. Is the neighboring properties, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I was going to say that I think that the issue of whether buildings are permitted or not can be addressed between the department and the applicant during, if it is the will of the commission to give them an opportunity and time to come in with an amendment, that we can address those issues separately and they don't need to be taken up at the commission. It will raise separate questions and issues which will have to be addressed by the applicant, and that is because if you have multiple dwellings on agricultural land that have not been permitted as farm dwellings, then you run afoul of state land use, because under state land use law, you're not typically allowed to have multiple single-family dwellings, and it doesn't allow for faculty and staff dwellings on the ag land that service the school. So those are some things that they may need to be addressing in any amendment as to, perhaps it means that they have to expand the 2 acres to a larger acreage to accommodate that, or those houses, in order to be legally permitted, have to be additional farm dwellings, and in order to get permits for additional farm dwellings, you have to demonstrate agricultural activity.
Go ahead.
I'm sure, I just want to make a comment before I ask my question. In 2001, when you came in for this, I'm sure you did not see or foresee the great need that you provide for your community. With that being said, and my hat goes off to you for sticking with it and doing what you're doing, with that being said, I am dumbfounded by the fact that it was a blatant disregard to adhere to the special permit restrictions. We just had somebody come in and want to do something that will require these restrictions, and then we're told that whatever we say, we have the authority to make sure. Sorry, am I
Don't need
talking
coffee
too
anymore?
loud? To ensure that it's going to be followed. And we could have eliminated all of this today had it been done, right? And what I love hearing from the director is that she has been more than willing to work with you and your organization to get yourselves in compliance. I want you to know that that's what I do for a living. I am the compliance manager to make sure that people are in compliance. And what bothers me is that those organizations in our communities will see that, hey, if we're allowing you to do it, then it sets a precedence. You understand that. I know that you do.